Good evening. Welcome to Astrology Throwdown tonight. We are exploring the most important question imaginable: is Napoleon among us? And the other really important question: is astrology true? And lately, I have felt compelled, for a certain reason, to go very deep into my astrological natal chart. So there's a lot going on because I think that I can prove that my story is in my chart. And for the people who are watching and are furious at me, I don't want you to be furious at me. I don't want anybody to be furious at me. And I want, if someone is operating in good faith, I want them to at least understand that I'm really not trying to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to somehow get past all of these blocks and to move forward and to get past a lot of the trauma I've been through. And this is how I'm going about it. I told God in 2014 that I would be perfectly obedient and I would do whatever I was asked to do. And I was sure I would get killed very quickly. That was my supposition. It's like, well, I guess this will be it. Um, but I'm still here. I know I seem disappointed, but I figured if I embraced heroism, I wouldn't live very long because I knew what kind of people are running things. They're the kind of people who kill heroes. So for some reason, I'm still here. And since I can show you a lot of things because somehow the hero killers have been paying a ton of attention to me, but they haven't killed me yet. So you can see in my chart that that's the kind of life I would live with this chart. So interesting because my name is Tana Lee. I hated that name. I thought it was awful. I had to spell it for everybody when I was a child. I had to explain that there was a dash in it, all kinds of things. And my mother would explain it to people, and it would be like a horrible thing to watch her explain my name to people. It was awful. Tana-Lee. I had to hear that. She would have to spell it out, explain it to people. So why am I bringing this up? Because my mother told me that she named me after another child in the hospital. That's the origin of my name, Tanalee. And where are you, Tanalee? I want to know what you've done with this chart. Oh my goodness, what a difficult chart this has been to live with. And if there was a poor little child with this chart in the same hospital as me in Southampton, please find me. I want to talk to you. What happened to you? Because this is a really, really hard chart. And as far as I know, it's just me doing this, handling the chart in this way. What's she doing? Is she even alive? This is a chart that I think would easily destroy a lot of people. And if I am strong, it's because I've endured so much. And I've been explaining day after day, methodically, in Saturn dogged fashion, that I have two huge formations in my chart pointing to Saturn in the third house in Cancer. So my chart is just like pointing at that Saturn in the third house in Cancer. What is Saturn, third house in Cancer? It's actually a Saturn retrograde, which is supposed to be even worse, more restrictive, and karma and just problems and more delays and more frustrations. So the third house is a place of thinking and communicating and media and writing and speaking. I've always been strong in communication, even though I do have a laconic way of expressing myself. That's the Saturn, that simple way that I communicate. I, I've never, I do like poetry, but I haven't always been that patient with it. I just like to say things directly. So that's that Saturn in the third house, if you want to see how that comes across. and it's in Cancer. Cancer is a place of the moon, of the mother, of the past, of memories, nostalgia, your family, your homelands, where you come from, your past lives. So I have this kind of historian, emotional, but uncomfortable, really uncomfortable, and really restricted. I can't move forward in media because I have this Saturn. Saturn death cult. That's how I view it. Saturn death cult's in the way. Saturn death cult owns the media right now. And boy, do they. Have they been clear on that? Wow. I've been proving this for years. I don't even know how to prove things anymore. They're just so proven. Either you believe me or you don't. But I will show you where I'm getting it from. And I'm not just picking these ideas out of the air. They're all verified, corroborated. I wouldn't say it if I wasn't sure. You can never be 100% sure, but I know who's been sending me all of this harassment. As I've said practically every night, I'm permanently quarantined as a perfectly healthy person because these bankers from England, this banker from England has so much money. He has so much more money than everyone else that he could buy the whole media and all the governments. It's incredible. How could one person do that? Well, it took a lot of lying and scheming and tricking and scamming, and above all, a lot of mind control to get everyone into a state of not fighting back and letting this one person get everything. And now that he has everything, you see what he's doing with it. He's bullying us. And I just want everyone to know that 9/11 rolled out from this banker in England. No question about it. 9/11 was from him. And he must have made a fortune because I saw the rich people around me in the Hamptons become so much more wealthy. I've been watching you guys. You guys are, a lot of you are not. Wow. Wow. You guys are really obvious how much richer you got after 9/11. So the guy in the cave, what happened to him? I just know all the people here got really rich from it. So there's no question what's going on. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because right now we have perfect transits for standing up for ourselves. I will tell you what they are because I have it right in front of me. Mercury and the sun are aligned, and it's a Mercury retrograde. What does that mean? Time to look at those secrets. Look in the past. Look what's happened. Bring it out. Bring it all out. We have the sun on Mercury. We can focus on our thoughts and our communication, and we can get those secrets out because Mercury retrograde's perfect for that. We can look back and we can start to clean house. So that's a wonderful transit that's going on. I want to see right now, but I think it was like yesterday, but still, we're under its influence. And there's a sextile with Mars. So Mars is, he's still in Pisces. He's all spiritual right now. And we have everything for spiritual war. And we have the power, and we have Jupiter right there in Aries. So Jupiter's ready to rumble. Mars is ready to be very empathetic and caring, but he's ready to rumble too. So we have everything for that. We're strong right now. And I am a novice at astrology, but I test everything and I read what all the sites say. I don't trust them, but if they're all saying something, I'll put it to the test and I'll see if it works for me. And I've been doing it for a few years, so I can at least tell you what's worked for me. And these transits really do work. We do have that power. And the other thing I feel I've learned about astrology is it wants to veer towards improvement. The universe wants to improve. Things want to get better. This Saturn death cult is, they have to do a lot of things to throw the natural order over so they can always get their way and win. They have to exercise very extreme witchcraft. They have to do a lot of killing and a lot of lying, and they have to be very, 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 very aggressive to always get their way. They have to be like monsters. And that's how they basically thwart the natural flow of life so they can always win. We're really dealing with very serious practitioners of the black arts. There's no question about that. And and they fight to win for sure. But we are, those of us on our side, hopefully, are benevolent and we want to see things get better. And I truly believe that God wants us to succeed and do better. And it's up to us to play our role. I do pray a lot and I do hear God. And what I hear is we have to do it. We have to do it. It's up to us and we will get that help. And you can see I'm still here. I'm doing better than when I started the project. It's frustrated and suffering. I am in a lot of pain, but I am still doing better than when I started, and I didn't expect to live long. So I put all of this information on the blog. I'm doing an astrology report every single day, and we have all of the planetary aspects to move forward. We can focus on secrets and changing. What is that aspect? That's Pluto. There are really positive aspects of Pluto. Pluto is viewed as a malefic. It is a malefic. It's death, it's sex, it's birth. It can be healing. It can be secrets. It can be plotting and scheming and trying to get control. These are all kind of Scorpio Pluto feeling. It's a dark, spiritual, spooky kind of feeling. I just have so much of it. I had to make friends with it. My son is in Scorpio. I described yesterday that I have a blocked Pluto in my sixth house. Why is it blocked? It's blocked because it's in an intercepted Libra. What does that mean? It means that both cusps are in the sixth house. What's the sixth house? It's the house, it's a place of health and service. So I'm supposed to have Pluto type health and I'm supposed to serve in a Pluto type way, but it's stuck in this intercepted Libra. Libra is a place of relationships and art and beauty. So all of that's a little trapped and stuck for me, and Pluto's trapped in there. That's what this is all supposed to mean. What am I supposed to do with that? And Pluto is not only trapped, but it's making extremely difficult aspects, an opposition, which is a painful aspect with the moon, which is my emotions, and it's in the 12th house. So that's kind of trapped and repressed and out of control. And then it's square Venus. Venus is the ruler of my chart because my ascendant is in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is extremely important, and I am an artist, but Venus is in Capricorn. That's a place of restriction and boundaries and being a total workaholic. So Venus is trapped. The Pluto energy is trapped. Oh, and Venus is opposite that retrograde Saturn on top of it. So Venus is trapped. Pluto's trapped. The emotions are trapped. Everything is trapped practically in my chart. So I have to find out constructively what can I do to untrap that energy, because it's going to lead to very serious health problems, and it absolutely has, because Pluto, which is death and pain, poorly aspected, but there is a good aspect that I do want to talk about. But I have this trapped, suffering Pluto in my house of service, and I am a servant. I'm constantly working for others and health, and I'm very focused on healing and healing myself and healing others. I'm very interested in healing. Pluto can be healing. I could be a healer with Pluto in the sixth house if, because it's spiritual and it's transformative, that's healing. And if I could find a way to set that Pluto free and get that energy flowing, I could be extremely powerful, because Pluto is power. And I have this relationship problem or unbalanced relationships, or it's hard for me to get along with people. I'm so different. I'm trying to keep this very narrow, but I am so different. It's hard for me to relate to others. I'm nice. I am nice, but my mind is not, it's just not on what's on television or anything normal people talk about. My mind is on completely other things. So it's very difficult for me to have a normal conversation. I just don't know how to do it. So you see, I actually do have Libra type social problems right there. I'm trapped. I can't really relate in a normal way. I'm not normal. I'm not, not at all. So what am I supposed to do with this? So I have to find other ways to get that energy so I can access the power. So I have to look at what is Pluto rule in my chart? What house? Pluto rules the eighth house. So then I have to go to the eighth house. And I put this on my astrology report on the vlog. If you want to follow along, I know this is really probably not that fun to listen to, but I want to show that my chart is a reflection of this project, that astrology is absolutely real. I don't know how it works. I don't get it, but I can show you the amazing things in this chart if you just keep going in deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, so how am I going to set that Pluto free? I'm going to go look at the other Pluto areas in my chart. Okay, I have Scorpio in my seventh house. That's ruled by Pluto. So I have a very good energy with Pluto in my seventh house. My great enemy is Pluto, as we all know. He's a control freak, power monster. He's just lives to take power. He's like Pluto. Pluto's all about power and being a sneaky snake. That's the worst type of Pluto energy, is a sneaky, conniving person who wants all the power and is just happy to kill for it. So he's like almost a caricature. And that's my enemy. And it just so happens that Scorpio is in the house of my enemy and partner. So my enemy is a Pluto, but my partner is also a Pluto too, and I'm also Pluto. That's what's so funny here. So this is a very dark energy that we're all dealing with, but I'm trying to make it as positive as I can. And Pluto can be positive. It's so powerful though, and it's so transformative, and it's so scary, but it can be good. Sometimes things need to transform, and then you'll pair off or sand off all the gross stuff that shouldn't have been there anyway. And that's what's happening right now. Pluto is in Capricorn. Capricorn can be banking, it can be governments, it can be schools, it can be institutions. It could be Masonic lodges. It could be all kinds of structures. And Pluto has been transiting Capricorn. So it's been paring down the criminals and shaking the criminals out. And I think that's had a lot to do with my project, because this great enemy in England obviously sent me someone to bang pots in my neighborhood for 2 months. And he's clearly a career criminal. Why else would he be banging pots to aggravate everybody while they're launching this story to trap everyone? Like, oh yeah, right. Like the virus is paying this guy to harass everybody. Ridiculous. This whole thing was the fakest thing ever. Oh my goodness. I got my own criminals to harass me for it. How am I supposed to take something like that seriously? Like, oh, the media rolled this guy out, and now this guy's harassing me for 2 months, banging pots outside my house during when I read my Napoleon memoirs. And I'm supposed to think that's real when the guy who sends me agents just sent me this one too. This is ongoing trickery. This is a Saturn death cult. This is practitioners of black magic who are pulling a fast one on everybody pretty much all the time. And hopefully we're all going to look within and find out what we need to do to save ourselves, because I know this, we have to save ourselves. It's our job to save ourselves. And if you're sitting there waiting for someone to come save you, what good is that? Do you really want to be that person? Take some initiative. I don't want to be like preachy, but come on. Take responsibility. Stand up. Do the right thing. Van Morrison's doing it. We're glad to see that. Okay, fine. So I'm telling you, this is how I serve. I serve through being very transformative. I'm trying to get that Pluto energy flowing so I can access it and I can really serve and help people with this super abundance of Pluto energy that I have. And like I said, my Pluto energy is strong in my seventh house. And of course, the eighth house is ruled by Pluto. So I have to look there for some softer spots so I can access that Pluto energy in a different way. It's really interesting the way astrological energy works because somewhere it's easy and somewhere it's hard. And if it's hard in one spot, go to the spot where it's easy and see if you can work it out there. It's like anything in life. You just have to keep trying different things until you find what works. So the I know that I have really great aspects in my eighth house. So if you look at my chart in that astrology report, you'll see what I have in my eighth house. Now, what's the eighth house all about? Again, it's a place of Pluto. So it's dark, spooky things, it's sex, it's death, it's inheritances, it's other people's money, it's um, it's astrology, it's mystical things. But it's a little darker than usually Pisces. But I have Neptune in there, so I basically have Pisces energy in there. So my eighth house, which is a spooky Scorpio kind of place, very very spiritual, but kind of in a dark way, kind of sneaky, kind of drudging up dirty things that nobody really wants to deal with. That's what I do. I drudge up things that people don't want drudged up, but they need to be drudged up. See, that's Pluto. Pluto has a job to do and needs to do it because if Pluto doesn't do its job, nothing else is going to work until law enforcement is established. I'm not going to say reestablished, established. We can't move forward. Well, that's a Pluto. Pluto has to come in and get some things done. Exactly. So the thing that's so interesting, if I do have a trapped Pluto in the sixth house, the chart is pointing literally to the eighth house. So here's your way out because there's the sextile, which is a favorable aspect, a harmonious aspect that reaches right to Neptune. And then if you look at that Neptune in the eighth house, well, what's the Neptune in the eighth house? We know Neptune is very soft and spiritual and emotional and confusing and enchanting and magical and very ethereal. And then Neptune is in a place of Scorpio, which is like kind of ethereal and spiritual, but a little darker. So this is so spiritual. And then it's in a positive aspect with Pluto, even though it's a trap Pluto. If I can get that going. Now I've got Pluto supporting the Neptune in a space of Pluto. Super strong. Okay. And then what else do I have there? This is like the best part of my chart. And Neptune sextile Jupiter. Jupiter in Aquarius in the 10th house. Okay. So think about that. Okay. Sextile. That's a harmonious aspect between Neptune and Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter. Jupiter is in Aquarius in the 10th house of career, if you look at the chart. Okay, so the full support of that Jupiter, which is a career Jupiter of the people, totally truthful, very benevolent, and then involved in these like heavy aspects with Uranus and Mars. This is like a super juiced up Jupiter, and that's my career. And it's supporting this Neptune. It's a prophet. It's a prophet for days. There's no other way to read it because it's a prophet who is dredging up secrets and has all the Jupiter in the world and all the Pluto in the world. That's all the power you could ever possibly have, and there's no negative aspects. Except, I guess, the eighth house itself is kind of a negative aspect because Scorpio is a bit of a kind of downer, but still, it doesn't have to be. And on top of that, what is the constellation around the 8th house, Sagittarius, duplicated. So where I'm weak with Aries and Libra, because those are intercepted, blocked houses, I'm super strong when it comes to Sagittarius. And it's enveloping the 8th house. Everything there is saying that's your power. That's how you can blow through this. You can blow through everything with this. That's perfect. I just wanted to show that to people. And it's right by my house of relationships, just right there. So I'm going to view that as involving relationships, because everything I'm doing right now, and you can see that, involves either my enemy or my partner. Okay. And it's right there in the 7th house that he is famous. He's involved in communications, and he is a schemer, dark. They're both like that. So one is, I think, a lot more benevolent than you think. And I think the other one needs to be asked some questions as soon as possible. He doesn't get to shut down my life. Oh, he doesn't get to shut down anyone's life. Who is, oh, see, I'm going to dial it back. Embarrassing. See, I'm trying to help you understand. It's terrible. Anyway, I did cut it off, though. I get credit for cutting it off. You knew where that was going. Okay, so I made my point about the 8th house. Okay, so I have to continue to pursue that Neptune in the 8th house in a duplicated Sagittarius. That's going to work awesome. Okay? Guaranteed success right there. Or astrology is a total lie, which it isn't. Let's get back to this Napoleon meltdown. Poor Napoleon. Anyway, so I believe, is a twin flame. He wants his twin flame. He fell madly in love with Josephine. I'm going to say it again. I really think there's a spell involved, because if you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the story, he didn't even like her at first. He thought she was an intriguer. Oh, guess what? He was right. But then one day, poof, and he was crazy about her. Okay, so it actually did play out that way. And I'm telling you, he snaps out of it even before he finds out she was cheating on him. It's in Hortense's memoirs. If you really go deep, because Napoleon himself is playing up the whole Josephine thing. He is a spin meister. Like, my enemies say that about him, and I'm like, you guys are so right. He was. Napoleon was a spin meister to the max. But we love him as he is. He's still a spin meister, and we still love it. So guilty as charged. Anyway, so we're going to continue with Napoleon's meltdown as he realizes this is not his twin flame. This isn't what he wanted. She's nothing he wanted. And he can't deal with it because he's so invested in the illusion that he created about her. And this is what I'm trying to say is a twin flame problem. Because a twin flame, if you're like really a twin flame, and I don't know who is and who isn't, I know I am, it hurts you. It's so painful. You're just going to look for any way to stop that pain, because it's like your arm is missing. It hurts so much. So it's so important to understand that if somebody is just a twin flame, it changes them, and it makes them behave in a very strange way, because they're hurting and they don't even know usually that they have a twin flame or why they're hurting so much. I didn't know this pain was a twin flame thing. Now I do know. I just thought I was in torture all the time. And I did have a very abusive childhood, so I thought that it was because of that. But I now realize this twin flame thing is unbelievable. And over the decades, I've been slowly trying to understand it. I still don't understand it, but I'm sure, absolutely sure that I can't believe it, but I'm sure. Elvis Costello is my twin flame. Oh my goodness. I'm sure of it. Everything points to it and nothing contradicts it. And I want to keep proving it. I can keep proving it, that you will hear Cohen's voice in Napoleon's letters. I don't even look at this stuff before I read it on air. I'm so sure. And it's incredible. I can see it. It's so hard to believe, but it's true. I can't believe it, but we're just gonna have to accept that this is Napoleon because I keep proving it, and if I keep proving it, we have to accept it. And if we accept it, he's our leader. I can't believe this, but he is our leader. I deal with spiritual Napoleon and I deal with telepathic Cohen all the time now, and this is not a normal person. This is a complete angel. I can't call him an angel after his life, but he is an angel. That's the part that's so shocking. He is actually, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's angel, but something like a not a normal person. And I'm not normal either. There are different types of people. And I do think there are angels. I think there's angels among us. I think there's demons among us. And it's important to find out how to identify who's what because I'm not a normal person. I know I'm not. And he's not either. You can even just see the way we are. We're not normal. So, what are we? We have to find these things out. And I feel like that's what we're doing here. We're trying to start to deal with some real questions because the media, as it is creating a mental prison for everyone. It's just about keeping people like docile and distracted. So, that media needs to be removed from our lives completely. I want them to not influence anyone anymore. Who cares what celebrity trial they're doing? Do you really think those trials are real? I went through the OJ trial. I don't believe that was real at all. I thought I believed it at the time. I thought it was real then. I don't think it was real. I look into it and you'll find a lot of reasons why these trials aren't real. Oh my goodness. See, because that banker in England just thinks it's hilarious, I guess, to just trick us constantly. And I mean, like I'm saying to you, I can't talk to most people. Why? Because their head is full of BS that they were told that they believe. How can I talk to someone whose head is full of BS from the TV? See, it works. Like, I can't have an intelligent conversation with somebody who believes what the TV told them. That's on purpose, so we can't talk. So their media is an incredibly destructive influence on us. I hope people will see that it's really important to get away from their media. I know. I know, but we really do have to get away from it's really toxic. Wow, it's killing us. It killed my mother. Um yeah, cuz she went to take an injection that killed her. And she wouldn't have gone and done that had the television not scared her into it. So the TV is full of murderers right now. And I believe they know it. I believe that they know that when this thing whips around back at them, they're going to be guilty of a lot of murder. And do they know that? They better. They better know that. The media is killing people and has been killing people, and it killed my mother. So, yeah. We're getting into very, very serious Nuremberg Code violations, very serious levels of murder done by a, a dark occult situation that has hijacked our banking systems. So, Pluto and Capricorn, we need to change those banking systems as soon as possible because we've all been taken hostage and this needs to change. And we do have the transits for it. So let's read a letter by Napoleon to Josephine. And probably you'll hear Cohen's voice in it. And when I say Cohen, I mean Elvis Costello. In all of a month, I've had from my sweetheart just 2 letters of 3 lines each. Is she as busy as all that? Doesn't she feel an absolute necessity of writing to her best friend? At any rate, of thinking of him? Now, to live without thinking of Josephine, to me, that would be death, annihilation. Your image embellishes my thoughts and throws a cheering light on a black and sinister scene of melancholy and dolor. A day may come when I shall see you again. I do not doubt that you will still be in Paris. And that day I shall show you my pockets full of letters which I never sent you because they were too foolish, too silly. Bet is the word. Good Lord. Tell me, you who know so well how to make others love you without giving any love in return. Do you know any cure for love? I would pay very dear for it. You were to leave on 5 Prairial. Fool that I was. I expected you on the 13th, as if so pretty a woman could give up her accustomed ways, her friends, her Madame Tallien, her dinners with Barras, some new theatrical piece, and Fortuné. Yes, Fortuné, there's not a thing you don't love more than you do your husband. For him, you have at most a trifle of esteem, just a little of that general benevolence with which your heart abounds. Every day, telling over and over my wrongs at your hands, I vainly exert myself not to love you anymore. Bah! I only love you the more. Yes, incomparable little mother, I'm going to tell you a secret. Mock me as you like. Stay in Paris. Have lovers and let all the world know it. Never write me. Well, I'll only love you 10 times the more. If that isn't frenzy, fever, delirium, I shall never be cured of it. Oh, yes, by God, I shall be cured. But don't be telling me you are ill. Don't undertake to vindicate yourself. Good Lord, you are forgiven. I love you to madness, and my poor heart will never cease to give you its love. If you should not love me in return, my fate would be fantastic. You've not written me. You were ill, so you did not come. The directory would not let you come, and you fell ill. The little one made such a to-do inside that he made you ill. You are this side Lyon now. You will be in Turin on the 10th. On the 12th, you will be in Milan, where you will wait for me. You will be in Italy, and I will be still far away from you. Adieu, well beloved. One kiss on your mouth, another on your heart, and another on the little one who isn't there. We have made peace with Rome, and Rome has given us money. Tomorrow we shall be at Leghorn. As soon as it can be managed, I shall be in your arms, at your feet, on your breast. Everybody, so many songs came to mind, so. Yes. Okay, so here's the next one. Anyway, that one checked out, so that's good. Hopefully people are listening to the memoirs and then hearing his voice now. It's the same person. It's the same person. Shocking, 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 shocking. And both total playboys. So I'm gonna hear some more of this playboy lifestyle. Let's continue. The songs on the imperial bedroom were about the same lies and deceits as found in the songs of trust, only now they were being perpetrated behind gilded doors or during the murky excursions of nighttime. I'd begun writing the trust songs, New Lace Sleeves, and Watch Your Step when I was only 20 years old, maybe even younger. So much of what I had written had consisted of uneducated guesses and predictions of the future. I copied lines and whole verses from notebook to notebook for nearly 5 years until some images found their rightful home. At that time, I was trying to distinguish between being civilized and being captured as I made my way to work every day from my place on the outskirts of town while working on a song with the odd title From Kansas to Berlin. It was about the aftermath of the Second World War, and it was nothing if not ambitious, although all that survived of it in the final draft of New Lace Sleeves was the question: when are they going to stop all of these victory processions? Which was eventually joined by the chorus. The teacher never told her anything but white lies, and you never hear the lies that you believe. Though you know you have been captured, you feel so civilized, and you look so pretty in your new lace sleeves. If the tone of the first draft had been a little pious and even moralistic, I wasn't feeling nearly so high minded by 1980. Bad lovers face to face in the morning with shy apologies and polite regrets. Slow dances that left no warning of outraged glances and indiscreet yawning. Good manners and bad breath will get you nowhere. The British newspapers have always loved a scandal, especially anyone being on the fiddle or any kind of kinkiness. I rode the commuter train each morning, reading the tittle tattle and indignation on other people's front pages and in their furrowed brows. Even presidents have newspaper lovers, and ministers go crawling under covers. The final draft was a collage of hoarded couplets and brand new triggers from the daily headlines. If the late night newscast coughed up some minister, red faced and rattling his saber for the little he was worth, he too went into the pot with a brand new rhyme for that old line: no more fast buck. When are they going to learn their lesson? When are they going to stop all of these victory processions? When I happened upon a photographic portrait of an honorable lady in the inevitable pile of back issues of Country Life in a dentist's waiting room, I lingered with indecent curiosity and imagined her and her sister in my song, the salty lips of the socialite sisters with their continental fingers that have never seen working blisters. Oh, I know, they've got their problems. How I wish I was one of them. And so it went on, part truth, part fiction. I collected most of the other images for Clubland, Pretty Words, and White Knuckles during the Get Happy tour of England, where the offer of violence never seemed very far away. The carnival desires in Watch Your Step were just a picturesque way of saying that you might have to choose between chasing the wrong girl and avoiding gangs of lads, shouting abuse and spewing into the gutters, kicking in the car chrome, drinking down the eau de cologne, spitting out the Kodachrome. Thank you so much for listening tonight. I don't even know what to say. This book blows me away. Let me just say this right now. Anything with color makes me crazy, so I can't even deal with it. So, good night. Thank you for listening.